Hey y'all, it's Alec, the Road Warrior Prepper. I was reading the news this morning and saw some stuff that's kind of disturbing, and I want to just discuss with y'all because it's important that we're all prepared for what's coming and what I think is a new future. So one of the headlines I read today was Blackrock advises its investors to dump the US dollar. And they're kind of pushing Brexit, which I think is how you pronounce it. But anyway, BlackRock it's the largest manager of assets in the world. Not in America, world, globally. Largest assets. It has over $10 million worth of assets that it manages. It's either members or board holders in these large mega globalist corporations, or they have invested money in stocks in your local grocery store or gas station. And because they have so much money and their finger in so many things, they have a lot of power. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't have much money. I've got enough to get to next month with a little bit in reserve, but $10 trillion, that's a lot of money. So some understanding is they sent a memo out to their investor group, which is, the way I understand it, the investor group is all the companies that they have their little finger in, that they're stirring around and guiding and that sort of stuff. And in this memo, they suggested or recommended to the asset managers, I guess is the right word, if they're holding US dollars. So I'm not talking about if they have investments in US companies that deal with dollars. I don't know about y'all, but I keep a reserve, a couple $1,000 handy, that if I have a tire blowout on my motorhome, or if I have something else happen that requires me to have quick access to cash, I can just go to that and I don't have to sell any of my stocks in my 401k or go to my treasury bonds and sell one at a loss to be able to get this money. So they're telling people, if you're holding US dollars in reserve, to dump it. If there's less people wanting or trusting in the US dollar, then that makes our dollar more unstable. And so I think that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to create instability in our dollar to prop up other companies and to weaken America. And what I don't understand is that America's what has made most of these companies their assets, their wealth. And now all of a sudden the global elites are trying to reduce our standing and switching over, and the big push right now is to Brexit. And one thing I've noticed, if you do any research into Brexit, is that they are buying up gold, and they are actually going to have something backing that financial system. We used to be backed by gold until they found out it was too expensive to do that, and our leaders could make more money if they didn't have anything back in our dollars. So our dollar is just basically just paper right now. And then Brexit is also encouraging everyone to get off the US dollar because they want everybody to use them as the world currency. It seems like the the globalists are really trying to weaken the US dollar, and I think it's working. Why do I think that it's working, that the US dollar is being weakened? Well, I mean, we're printing money like there's no tomorrow. Inflation is going up through the sky. If you don't believe me, try to buy groceries. I saw an article the other day that said groceries, which for some reason our government is not including in the inflationary index, are up 40%. So that means something that I paid $1 for last year or 4 years ago now costs $1.40. Energy costs are through the roof. Housing. So before we hit the road, we sold our house in South Carolina 5 years ago. It was a small mini farm where we, had a victory garden, had our own chickens, had our own goats, that sort of stuff, trying to be self-sustaining. We sold that for $215,000 or $219,000, and I had a friend of mine reach out to me the other day and said that the house was back on the market for $400,000. That's in 5 years. You can't tell me that housing prices are not going up. And so then if you look at the, before I move on, rents. My daughter rents, and her rent has gone up, she says, at least 30% in the last few years, which is crazy. But if you look at, I checked this morning, gold is up to $23.58, and silver is up to $28.11. Now, for the past few years, I have been incrementally buying small portions of gold and silver to put in my war chest, so to speak. So if the dollar does dump, I will have constitutional silver, small pieces of silver that I know will always be worth something, I feel like, that I can use to trade for other things. But has the value of gold and silver really gone up? No. The value of the dollar has gone down. So it appears the globalists are winning. And I think the end goal is this, they want a central digital currency. And they want to make the dollar obsolete. And with this digital currency, they will be able to control what and when we buy. If they say that cow farts are increasing global warming, which we all know it's not a thing. Global warming is just a tax, another way to make money off the American citizen, or the world citizenship for that matter. But they will say, okay, your family's allowed 10 pounds of hamburger a month, or you're allowed 2 pounds of hamburger per person. And then once you get to that point, then they cut it off. They cannot use digital currency. It'll keep track of it in the computer, and they will not allow us to purchase the items we want. We'll only be able to purchase the items they want us to have. We'll be able to buy all the plant-based and insect-based meats that they are filling with chemicals and steroids and all kinds of stuff. So with all this plant-based and insect-based food, I believe they're doing that to keep the citizens manageable. They have been putting stuff in our food that I think kind of manipulates our mental health. Is it soy or one of those other things that they put in the food to reduce our testosterone levels? And I think that with the plant-based and insect-based stuff, that they are doing that to manipulate our molecular being, so that we are less likely to join together to fight a tyrannical government to make the population more manageable. All the natural-based, God-given foods and animals that we eat are what our body needs to keep us healthy, but between the pharmaceuticals that they are constantly injecting us with and the stuff they're putting in our food, they're doing that to make it so the population is more manageable. So I don't know what y'all are going to do. I'm going to continue to keep silver and gold, mostly silver, constitutional, fractional silver, as a base for bartering in the future, because I do believe our currency is being manipulated by the globalists and the banking system to bring in this digital currency so that they are able to control us. Like, I live in a motorhome. I buy lots of gas when I'm moving, and if they limit me to X number of gallons of gas per month that I can buy, well, then they will extremely prohibit us or control where we go and what we do. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I hope you got something beneficial out of the video, and if so, I ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Until the next one, I'll see you later.